If the world were like a Sleep Number mattress, everything would adapt for your comfort. Because as your life changes and your body changes, Sleep Number mattresses adapt and shift to give you personalized comfort night after night. And now everything's on sale during our Memorial Day event. Save up to $1,200 on mattresses for a limited time. To experience a whole new world of comfort, visit a Sleep Number store or go to sleepnumber.com. Sleep Number, to a good life sleep.
Looking for music that lifts your spirit and fills your heart? Experience the powerful sound of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square. Now streaming on all your favorite music platforms. Find the Tabernacle Choir on Spotify, Apple Music, YouTube, Amazon Music, and Pandora. Let the music of the Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square inspire you today and every day. Whether you're at home, in the car, or on the go, enjoy the beauty of their world-renowned sound anytime. The Tabernacle Choir at Temple Square, streaming now.
Not only do these guys give you the best jazz coverage in the market, they've got you covered with the Mammoth, the Cougars, the Utes, and the Aggies. This is Chase Scott and Ben Anderson on 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.
Jacob Ben, 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone. It is live at 5, which is brought to you by our friends at Trajan Wealth. Call Trajan today, your local trusted financial fiduciary. Call 1-855-TRAJAN-1 or visit their website at TrajanWealth.com. Of course, the biggest story of the day today, the Mammoth, the Golden Knights, game number 5 from Vegas tonight. Joining us now, of course, he is the voice of the Utah Mammoth. You'll be able to hear his call starting at 8 o'clock right here on the KSL Sports Zone. He's our buddy Mike Folta, who we're told is currently walking to the arena. What's up, Mike?
I am a pilgrim wandering in the desert right now.
What are you walking by right now? I love Vegas. Where are you walking by right now?
I'm in the Aria, which is close to where we're staying, and I'm looking at a $15 craps table that's calling my name, boys.
Right.
What I would give to rattle the bones right now, but it's a business trip. I'm wearing all black. I stand out like a sore thumb. I look a little bit like a missionary, but I'm ready to go. And the Mammoths are too in Game 5.
Yeah, so they go back to Vegas 2-2, had a chance to jump out to a 3-1 lead, lose in overtime, battle back from down 3-0 a game with so many storylines. What did you take away from the homestand that leads into Game 5?
Well, I think, talking about Game 4 specifically, the Mammoth got out to another bad start, which has to be rectified over the next few games here. But the ability to come back in that game, to score 4 straight and get to a point where you have a chance to win the game. Like, guys, I was getting the joke book ready in Game 4. When it was 3-0, I was getting ready to start shifting gears and try and, entertain fans another way outside of calling the action, because the action wasn't going so well. But the Mammoth turned on the Jets, scored 4 straight, and I think that creates some belief with this group where, no, you don't want to get out to another bad start, but now, should you fall behind or find yourself in a tense situation, you know that you have what it takes to overcome any deficit in this series against a good Vegas team. And Vegas feels the same way. They are a team that likes to come back in games. They like to come back in series. They won 3 straight against the Minnesota Wild last year to come back from a 2-1 deficit in that series. So Vegas is a confident team, and now I think the Mammoth are dipping into that confidence as well after the big comeback.
Can you diagnose the slow starts for us? Either something the Mammoth are doing, or is it truly what the Golden Knights are bringing to the ice?
It's more about Vegas than it is about Utah. But what we see typically is that Vegas has a hard time maintaining that intensity over the course of 3 periods, and hockey games are 60 minutes, and we haven't seen Vegas dominate a game for a full 60 minutes yet. Really, neither side has. Even in Game 2, the best game for the Mammoths so far, Vegas still had their moments, and they came out hot and heavy to start that game. So that's kind of what I'm talking about with coming back in games. It's all about how you weather storms and react to the ebbs and flows of a game, because in the playoffs, guys, these teams are too good where you're not going to have everything you want for a full 60 minutes or a full 79 minutes like we had the other night in Game 4 with overtime. So how can this young Mammoth team kind of handle the ups and downs and survive when Vegas is pushing? and then push your chips in toward the table, if you will, and cash in when you have the momentum.
You never stop making adjustments. And, we saw Tortorella moving Dorofeev up to the top line, and that obviously was very successful. That first line and second line played much better. But I do imagine the longer we go on in this series, we're just going to see two teams that they know each other. They know what each other are trying to accomplish, and it's just going to come down to who can win on the ice. Am I wrong about that in hockey, or does this chess match continue?
It's going to continue. And what was interesting about Dorofeev was, yes, that move paid off for John Tortorella right away, but we didn't see Pavel Dorofeev hardly at all in the third period for Vegas. So Utah had kind of neutralized that line after they scored early, and Pavel Dorofeev led the Golden Knights in goals during the regular season, and he's been really quiet for most of this series. So, every time I ask Bear about matchups and how he wants to handle this Vegas line or that Vegas line, I don't want to say he shakes it off, but it's something that he can't give you a clean answer on until they're in the heat of battle, as you guys are saying. And hockey's such a fluid sport. We've heard from assistant coach Mario Duhamel, he handles the defenseman. He'll ride the hot hand. So when John Marino is having himself a heck of a game, he's going to throw John Marino out there more often as opposed to rolling lines, 1, 2, 3 over and over again. He'll ride the hot hand with the defenseman. They'll do the same with the forwards. It's not like you have set lines that never change throughout the game. Kind of like football. You got a running back that has the hot hand. You're not going to take him off the field. You're going to keep him out there because he's feeling it, and the last thing you want to do is miss out on a big play because he's on the bench.
Do the Mammoth need more out of their power play?
Well, I think 1 for 9 so far in this series. They do. Yeah, they do. I think guys, they need to create more. I think they need to create more power plays as well. We keep talking about how fast of a team Utah is. One thing that speed should do for you is it should draw penalties. You should be able to draw a lot of these restraining penalties, like a hook or a trip, or an instance where Vegas, they're using their sticks to slow the Mammoth down. You should be able to draw those penalties. And so far, to only have 9 power plays through 4 games, I'd like to see Utah, use that foot speed with the puck to create some more of those infractions. Now, is that officiating? I don't really think so. I think it's more so the Mammoth using that speed with the puck on their stick to force a slower Vegas team to take a penalty and then let that power play go to work. And guys, your power play has your best players on it. Those guys need to feel the puck. It's kind of like a basketball, right? Where you want the ball in your best player's hands. When they're not getting the ball, they can get a little cold. Same thing with the power play. You want them feeling the puck and snapping it around.
Any prediction on what you think the change will be for J.J. Peterka? Do we see him again? Is he on a different line? What would you expect a change could possibly be?
Yeah, it looked like he was I just opened the door for a guy with some golf clubs here. God, that'd be nice. And I thought about bringing the sticks down, but like I said, business trip. Yeah, with JJ, look, here's the thing. I tweeted this out earlier. He was on 2 of the 3 most productive lines for the Utah Mammoth during the regular season. He played with Cooley and Gunther. They scored a ton of goals in October. He played with Keller and Schmaltz, and that kind of helped stabilize the Mammoth in December when the team was really struggling. He didn't have a great game the other night in Game 4. He basically got benched in the third period. I don't think he had a shift from the halfway mark of the third on throughout overtime and the rest of the game. And head coach Andre Tourigny has been really positive about JJ, saying he had a good conversation with him earlier at morning skate. He's a guy where he doesn't need a lot to score. He has an electric shot, and he's got a ton of skill and a ton of speed, too. And even though it hasn't been a great series for him so far production-wise, he can pop off in an instant, and that's why I'm still bullish on him. It'll be interesting for him on the fourth line. That's not a line that has produced a lot of offense for Utah in this series so far, but he's going to be playing with Kevin Stenlund, who's a very responsible two-way centerman. He's going to be playing with Brandon Tanev, another forward who has a ton of speed and will hit anything wearing gold tonight. And so it'll be interesting to see if JJ can kind of take advantage of playing with those two guys, one who's very responsible and does a lot of the little things, the other who is basically a wrecking ball and will just scare people off the puck because of his speed and his physicality. So it'll be interesting tonight. He's going to have to step up his game if he wants to make an impact in this series. But like I said, he's a guy that if you give him an inch, he'll take a mile.
Have we seen either team play their best hockey yet?
You know, elevate in a sense. Like it's neither side feels great, neither side feels terrible because it's been really even. This has been one of the most evenly played series so far, and Vegas entered the postseason as the hottest team in the National Hockey League. Remember, they changed coaches with 8 games left in the regular season. John Tortorella took over, and the Mammoth actually in the playoffs were the first team to beat the Tortorella-led Golden Knights in regulation. They did so in Game 2 in this building. So Vegas enters feeling really good about themselves. I think the Mammoth have defended better than people give them credit for. When you look at pucks getting towards the middle of the ice in those dangerous areas, Utah and Vegas were both two of the best teams in the regular season at preventing those pucks from, coming right in front of your net, right in front of Karel Vejmelka. And the Mammoth have been pretty good about that throughout most of the series as well. So it's been a closely contested series. Would expect another close game here tonight. And as Andre Tourigny has said a lot throughout the year, if both teams play their best, it's going to be a 1-goal game in the third. And that's basically what we've had almost every game this series. So I think there's not enough separating these teams for one side to pull away. We'll see if that continues to be the case. But it's been a ton of fun to cover. And you have two contrasting styles. One team that runs more of an air raid, one team that runs more of a, Naval Academy style offense. But that means it's an interesting game.
Mike, I think the stat that came out on the broadcast in the last game was something like the Mammoth's average goal distance is over 30 feet. And, you look at what Vegas does, and so much of their scoring is done right at the net or getting a deflection right in front of the net. Is that sustainable, trying to beat Carter Hart from distance? Because it does seem like it's been working.
Yeah, I don't think that's where you want to be taking your shots from. But I do think goaltending has to be mentioned as one of the storylines in this series. And I think it's where Utah has a slight advantage so far. I mean, look, the shots that are beating Veggie aren't coming from distance, right? The shots that are beating Veggie are rebounds. They are guys who are alone in front of the net once or twice. Hasn't happened a lot, but it happened last game. They're tips, they're redirections. They're not shots that you expect a goaltender to save consistently. You look at the tying goal in the third period that Michael Carcone scored on a one-timer. Carter Hart had no screen in front of him. The shot was from the top of the face-off circle, so from a far ways away. And Carcone, who's a good shooter, but nonetheless, it's a distance in a location where you'd expect an NHL goaltender to make a save there, and Carter Hart didn't make a save. I think the Mammoths have a bit of a goaltending edge in this series. One thing I will say is with the way Vegas plays, it can wear down your goaltender because Vegas possesses the puck in the offensive zone and they control the puck. A lot of times it's on the perimeter, but as a goalie, you still have to be ready whenever that puck is in your zone. So that can wear a goalie down over the course of a game. I haven't asked Karel about this, but I think Karel Vejmelka might have been a little bit worn down towards the end of overtime in Game 4. And you saw when he was trying to push off to get back into position on the overtime winning goal by Shea Theodore, he didn't have a lot of strength left in that right leg to push back into position. So you got to take that into account, even though I think the Mammoths have the goaltending advantage in this series. The way Vegas plays can wear down Veggie.
Looking at a couple of other matchups in the playoffs real quick, Mike, we saw Boston stay alive down 3-1. And then, potentially the Mammoths' next opponent with either Edmonton or Anaheim. We saw Edmonton stay alive down 3-1. Ben and I are really familiar, obviously, with NBA playoff series and how hard it is to come back from 3-1 in the NBA. In the NHL, how hard is it to rattle off 3 wins in a row in a series?
That? No, thank you. No, thanks. No, I'm sure. All right. Yep. Thank you. Sorry, guys. I was getting propositioned here.
You're very popular,
walking
Mike.
Towards T-Mobile Arena. Sorry, I
No,
lost
how
a little
hard
bit of
is
the
it
question there.
in a playoff series? How hard is it to win 3 in a row?
I was about to be handed something that, well, I shouldn't describe. How hard is it to win 3 in a row? Well, Vegas did it last year to Minnesota. So they won 3 in a row. I think it's really hard, especially when teams are this tight, like what we're seeing now. I think for Utah or for Vegas to win 3 in a row, there would have to be a blowout somewhere in there where the Mammoths just don't show up. And we haven't seen that yet. I have no indication that would happen. I have a hard time imagining they win 3 one-goal games in a row. But, again, they did it last year.
Right.
A couple of the first games between Vegas and Minnesota were blowouts in the series last year in that first round. And then I think they won 3 overtime games in a row. So here I am saying I don't see it happening. Well, Vegas did it a year ago. It's hard to do that in a row. What's the old adage in at the NFL? It's hard to beat a team 3 times. It's the same thing in the National Hockey League. And Andre Cherney always does such a good job of keeping this team in the present. If I ask Bear what day is it, he's going to say game day. Like he doesn't look forward, he doesn't look back. And so I think that allows Utah to obviously stay in the moment, but to give the opposition their best look night in and night out and not allow momentum to creep into the equation.
Hey, Mike, we certainly appreciate having you on as always, and we'll be excited to listen to things tonight. Calling playoff hockey's got to be awesome.
Stay out of trouble.
Yeah, dodging the clappers here here on the Strip and making my way in. Again, I look like a missionary with my black suit and white shirt, but that means a couple of them will kind of take the hint and stay away. It's going to be a ton of fun. Already seeing a ton of Mountain Blue here walking around, so I think it's going to be a great environment.
You rock, Mike. Thank you so much.
Mike.
Thanks, guys.
There you go. That's Mike Folta, radio voice of the Utah Mammoth. Again, puck drops at 8. Pregame begins at 7. The last few times I've been on the Strip, I haven't seen those people handing out the
cards.
The
vouchers.
I thought that was over.
But ads. Yeah.
I thought like phones or something had
replaced
that, but apparently not. You know what I did once? I actually collected as many of those as I could and then stood and handed them out just to see what it was like.
What'd you think?
It was funny.
Potential lifestyle for you?
It made me laugh.
Yeah.
No, I don't think so.
Tough biz.
Well, there's no way they make like a livable wage, right?
No.
I wouldn't think so.
No, of course not.
That'd have to be a side gig. What do you do for a living? Well, I'm a teacher during the day, but in the evening I go hand out adult material down on the Strip.
I was in Vegas for my friend's 21st birthday, and he was like the oldest of the friend group. He like held his hand out for one, and the guy told him no because he looked too young.
Not for you, kid.
Oh, well, how responsible is that guy?
He's got like a baby face, yeah.
This man cares about the community.
Way to go. Killing it.
That dirtbag's really taking care of the world.
Hey, everybody's got standards.
You get it, and you get to make a living. Whatever you got to do, you get to make a living.
You can have your moral standards, even if you're handing out adult material on the Las Vegas Strip. You've got a line. I like that guy's line. Don't hand it to kids. You bet.
Yeah, absolutely. Yes, don't hand it to kids.
And if Christian's adult friend looks like a kid, well, better safe than sorry.
Agreed.
You know what your friend should do, though? Go to the Guess Your Age thing at Lagoon. That's the easiest win. If you've got a baby face, that's the easiest win at the park.
Yeah.
They have to get it within like 2 years or
Take
something.
Logan Cooley.
I was once, did I tell you I went to Lagoon on my 30th birthday, and I wore a shirt that said 30 and still frisky. And it was like a frisky cat food shirt, which is pretty funny. I went up to the Guess Your Age guy, and I said, all right, guess my age. And he looked at me and he goes, 25. I said, no. 30. Pointed at my shirt.
You know what? The shirt's probably a good throw off because they think that you think they think that you think that they're an idiot and they're just going to read the number on your shirt. So they're going to say, I know he's not the age on his shirt. So I'm going to guess a different number, but you go in smart and you wear the actual number because they're not going to guess the actual number because they don't think you're that dumb.
If a person who was obviously sensitive about their weight came up to, because you could do guess your age, weight, or there's another one, birthday. So if they came up and it's somebody
Guess your birthday.
Yeah, they have to get it with like, a couple months or something.
Oh, okay, like 4 months either direction.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's a lot easier.
No, not guess. Like, oh, you picked July 4th. It's actually July 6th. I'm very sorry.
I was going to say, geez.
No, that's
Kind of a mentalist is there, knows your birthday.
But would you way undershoot it just to be nice?
Wait?
Like, yeah. Like, oh, I'll give you this silly stuffed animal. I just don't want to be mean, like humiliate you in public.
Higher.
Oh, you'd go north?
230. 128. Oh. You wear it well.
Let me tell you about this place called the Heart Attack Cafe down in Vegas. You're going to love it. You eat free down there.
Yeah.
Did they really move it up to 400 pounds? Is that a thing, Christian?
I think that's what I had heard. I have not fact-checked it.
The percentage of the population that is 350 and above now is too vast that they had to bump it up 50 pounds? Okay.
It still says 350 as I Google it.
All right, good. What a concept for a restaurant. I've honestly never eaten there.
I've only seen the videos go viral. I've only ever seen that that was the thing because people will sit on the other side of the street and record people walking on the scale.
No, people have literally died there and they market it.
This guy's dead.
This guy had a heart attack. That's the point.
It's in the name.
That's the idea. Doesn't it say on the website caters to the morbidly obese? Or the lifestyle of such or something like that?
Well, okay.
Like that?
Oh, man, I love Vegas. Stay tuned. More Jake and Ben coming up next. 97.5, the KSL Sports Zone.